Welcome back to another episode of Black Girl Talk. Now, before we jump into it, I do want to apologize that y'all did not get an episode last week. I'm blaming on life. Life happens. Shit happened. A lot of shit has happened and transpired. So that's a shitty excuse, but that's the real truth. But moving forward, this topic, I low-key been prolonging this episode for the longest because of the direction I want to go. And one moment I wanted to own my shit. Next minute I just wanted to call out people on their shit. Now, I'm not saying subliminally like, oh, this is a whole, I'm calling out people's names and all that. Like, I'm not disrespecting nobody. But I think I can balance it out. We're saying both. Now, we're in this generation where people just don't want to really don't want to own their shit. Don't want to take accountability. Don't want to take ownership. Don't even want to simply just apologize if they are wrong. Even if you don't think you're wrong, you can't even just ease through the situation. Be like, all right, you know what? I'm wrong. With me, I have to start taking ownership for myself. Once I start taking ownership of myself, that's when a lot of things start changing. When you take ownership for yourself, that's when you pretty much you will become the most selfish motherfucker on this fucking earth. Because you have to nurture yourself. You have to mature yourself. You have to do everything that's possible to make sure that you are straight. Now, sitting on the outskirts, watching everybody live their life and seeing my friends do their thing and, living life. This is not shade to anybody that listens to this episode, but a lot of people, it's not even just not even people I be around with or family or friends. It's just overall, this is a general statement I'm finna make. Some people need to take accountability on themselves and stop blaming everything else. Stop blaming life. Stop blaming the situations that happen around you. Stop blaming everything. Because you have like I said before, and I'm gonna say it again, you have two choices in this goddamn life. You gonna let that shit fumble you, or you gonna get your shit together. Accountability hurts. Taking the pride out of stuff hurts. Owning your shit hurts. But it's needed. It's needed. It's what you have to do to make sure that you win in this life. You are successful in this life. You are happy. You are at peace in this goddamn life. A lot of people is not understanding that, and a lot of people just want to blame whatever. You can blame the universe all you goddamn want, but the universe is going to give you that same energy right back. So if you're going to be this negative energy, you're going to get negative energy in return. Why not just live your best life to the full ability? Why not just own the stuff that you are wrong for? No one's perfect. And that's the problem. Everybody wants to chase and be perfect. You can never be fucking perfect. Even the ones who think they're perfect still are breaking and cracking and shattering. You can never sit here. You can get close to perfect, to the idea that it's perfect to you, but flat out perfect? No, never. And that's what the problem with a lot of people think. They think they're so fucking perfect, they think they're untouchable until they get touched. Then what? Now, I used to put blame, or I just never figure out what was the reason for a lot of shit that happened in my life. Even if I wasn't the problem, even if it wasn't me, I took my shit, I owned my shit, and took accountability for everything that happens in my life. Somehow, maybe some way, I probably played a part of it. Maybe not. But I still gonna own that because it's needed. Once I start learning how to apologize, whether I'm wrong or right, especially when I'm wrong, to take that ownership, to own my shit, be like, you know what? Be open-minded, be open-eared, listen to that other side of you and be like, you know what? I'm wrong. You're right. Or we can agree to disagree. But in this time being right now, seeing how that person feels and what they're going through, I could be absolutely wrong and I could take ownership of that. And a lot of people don't even want to do that. For some reason, a lot of people just don't want to own their wrongs. You want to think you're always you. And another thing with this life shit, you are never right. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, but you are not always correctly right. Until your ass get humbled by Mother Nature or some type of shit, you're not always going to be right, and that is okay. It is okay to learn. That is life. Every day that you wake up, you have new lessons that you're gonna learn. There's gonna be new issues that you're gonna come across, and that's okay. That's all fucking okay. And if you're wrong, own it. And that's the one thing that you get somebody that you like, somebody that you know that's doing you wrong, whoop-de-whoop, all that extra shit. The one thing that can make them mad is the fact that you can own your shit. Don't give it no reaction. Just be like, you know what? You're right. I'm wrong. And leave it at that. That's an easy win for you. And a lot of the times, it's like, for some people, stop being so compatible. Now, y'all always, and then that's another thing with me. You guys always say, talking about, oh, you like to argue, you like to fight. No, I fucking don't. That's me owning my shit and standing my ground. And there's a difference. I don't know when someone that's compatible, they're the ones who wants to always search for the shit. Always want to search for a fight. Search for something to go wrong so they can start speaking their mind. I don't have to do that. I'm going to speak my mind regardless. But I don't need to go here and searching for a fight to make myself feel better. That's just a waste of energy. That's a waste of time. That's how fast you get tired. I'm not doing that. But stop being compatible, especially stop being compatible with life. Because guess what? You're not going to win that battle. I don't care how long the fucking war is. The war will be forever. You're not going to win. So just take it with pride. Take it with whatever pride you have left. Stand on your feet and just own it. As simple as that. Now, some people don't. When you own your shit, yeah, it takes that. That's a responsibility on your end. But also, you learn responsibility, you learn discipline when you having some type of faith. Now, think about me. I done seen some shit, and I've been through some stuff that were signs that I needed to sit out. I needed to relax, or I needed to lean on God a little bit more. Some people don't want to believe in God or whatever, but they so claim that there is a higher power. Okay, if that works for you. But my thing is, things happen for your life for a reason. Rather, however your faith is set up, everything happens for a reason. Everything has an intention. Do nothing without an intention. So, if you feel some type of way, then there's something that you need to worry about. That's something you need to fix. This is something got you feeling the way about whatever. Talk about it. Write it out. Do whatever you got to do to make it seem like, to get you back to your normal space. But don't be so quick to sit here and put in blame on this and that when you haven't even took the time out to figure out what the hell is going on with you. Maybe it's you. Because whenever you point fingers, I know what they told me in 4th grade. You point fingers at somebody else, you got 3 fingers pointing back at you. Now, who is it to really blame? Now, with me, I can only speak for myself on this platform. I may speak for others, but sometimes I can only speak from my perspective, my point of view, my story. I knew that at some point, you got to grow up. Everybody got to grow up. But with me, it was the fact that I had to own my shit, to accountability, to everything in life, to understand that only you can make these decisions to put you in a shitty position. I knew that the anger that I had, the temper I had, the unhappiness, the amount of unhappiness that I have exuded over the time frame to understand why this is even happening to me was beyond me. So instead of trying to figure out, instead of like trying to put blame, like, this parent did this and that to me, this parent needs to do that, whoop-de-whoop. I started to take accountability to figure out how the hell can I heal from this shit. All this baggage, all this shit, I own it. I own my trauma. I own my hurt. I own all the heartbreak. I own it all. Now what I'm going to do about it? Sit here, put blame on it? I own it. I own it to the point where I've forgiven myself. I allowed myself to hurt. Allowed to do whatever I needed to do to know that I needed to allow this shit to pass and allow this shit to move forward. So that's what I did. I took accountability for any actions that I have put onto myself, or to put myself in any position that had put me in any harm's way or even hurt. I took ownership. I took accountability for actions that I didn't even need to take accountability for, even if I wasn't even in the wrong. Sometimes you're going to have to put the blame of others on your shoulders just so you can move forward. And sometimes you're just going to have to just suck it up and take those punches, because that is life. But it's more so about what the fuck you're going to do in the return of it. Now that you didn't take all this accountability, now that you didn't own your shit, what can you do next? Just walk away thinking like, all right, I apologize. I did this, I did that. I took ownership of every fucking thing I did wrong. Now, all right, walk away. No, now you got to do the walking process. Now you gotta do this healing process. Now you gotta sort through all this shit that's on the fucking table until it's gone. Until you're able to shred whatever, you're able to just throw away all the shit. Once you sort it out, figure it out, clear the case out, now you gotta sit here and break everything down. For some reason why, due to the lack of parenting from previous generations and generations before mine or a generation that created me, they never really taught accountability for some people. And they really talk about, putting it like realizing that sometimes you are the problem in situations. I have noticed how parents were so quick to put blame on us or put blame on our actions and all stuff like that, but they didn't even take accountability for their own. And I think that's where my generation had to switch the ball game. Analyzing and understanding that each of us have generational curses. It is on us to find them, to figure out how to break them. It may not be easy because certain ones you thought it was cool. And sometimes you didn't even know that it's even a generational curse. But when you see a pattern of things going on for too long, from generation to generation, someone has to break it. Someone has to stop it. And I'm stopping mine. And with that, it's definitely owning accountability and owning my shit. I don't ever want my kids to look at me and feel like, oh, I'm constantly putting blame on them, making them feel like they can never do something right. I refuse to have my kids to go through any of the pain that I have went through, any of the suffering I have went through. I refuse to allow that to continue on to my kids, my grandkids, and my grandkids' kids, and all generations after me. Fuck that shit. Now, this episode may be probably the shortest episode of this whole fucking entire season, but I really have to get that off my chest because a lot of people around me wants to sit here and be mad at life, want to be mad at the world, want to be mad at whoever due to whatever pain that they have been suffering through or being caused upon themselves. And now I'm sitting here as a call of action for you to take all of the responsibilities, to own your shit, to be accountable for all your actions and your remarks and your energy that you give out. I really stand firmly and believe strongly on the fact that you think positive, you get positive results, and if you think negative, you get negative results. If you choose to be in this negative atmosphere, what the fuck you expect? You think goodness is going to come out of it because you created that space. You created the space of negativity. Own that. If we sat here and blame life for everything that went completely wrong in our lives, we would be nowhere. No one would get nowhere in their fucking life. So, own your shit. Own your fuck ups. Own your mess ups. Own the fact that you probably didn't hurt somebody. Own the fact that you even hurt yourself. Own whatever fucked up hot mess of pot of bullshit that you didn't cause, created, or even stirred. Own it. Take accountability for the shit that you have done as well. Take accountability for allowing certain shit to happen to you. At the time, we may not understand it, we may not get it, but like at some point, we're going to have to revisit and we're going to have to take accountability back. We're going to have to own it. I don't know if I had triggered anybody from this episode, come see me in my DMs. Let's talk about it. Once again, my name is Alicia, and that's Real Talk.